Good morning, class 8 students. Today in chemistry, we will do the third video or the third part of the sixth chapter of chemical reactions. In last video of chapter 6, we studied about the types of chemical reactions and between elements and element and compound and compound combination or synthetic reactions. We did the explanation of various combinations. If you remember, we had done lot of combinations of both element and element compositions. Then we did combination experiments and chemical reactions of element and compound, and then finally between two compounds. Then we had children also covered the decomposition reactions. Last time we had reached thermal decomposition, and we had seen various reactions here of thermal decomposition last time. Now let us look at the interesting experiment of the volcano. And in this we see a cone is taken, a metallic cone is taken, children. You can also do this experiment with help of your parents. And this cone is taken, and underneath this cone a small slit is open, which is cut with the help of a scissor, and a candle is left here, and the candle is put underneath the cone shaped this material. On top of this material we use ammonium dichromate. And now ammonium dichromate is a heavy molecule. It's a heavy molecule, it's a complex molecule, and it is an unstable molecule. And when we keep it on top of the iron cone or the iron sheet, and we heat strongly with the help of candle, then we see that an exothermic reaction takes place. And we know what is exothermic reaction. In an exothermic reaction, the heat is emanated or heat is given out. And we see that ammonium dichromate decomposes. It is orange in color. It begins to decompose into the green colored chromium oxide, and water and nitrogen is also formed during the reaction. Then we see that the reaction exerts a mechanical force which brings out the solid chromium oxide, which is green color. It is visualized as volcanic eruptions from top of this volcanic cone. So this is visualized as volcanic emission. Then we come to reversible thermal decomposition reactions. Now what are reversible thermal decomposition reactions? Here are the reactant decomposes on heating. We see this is a reactant, ammonium chloride. This decomposes or breaks into ammonia and hydrochloric acid, and when it is cooled, when this reaction is allowed to cool, then ammonia gas and HCl, they again show thermal dissociation, and they again combine back to form ammonium chloride. Likewise, phosphorus pentachloride, this is also broken down by heat into phosphorus trichloride and chlorine gas, which on cooling make it reversible, as these two products again combine to form phosphorus pentachloride. Then we see decomposition reactions due to photolysis. What is photolysis? It is decomposition reaction brought about by light. If you see here, this is here hypochlorous acid, HClO3. In the presence of sunlight, the hypochlorous acid, it breaks into hydrochloric acid and oxygen. So we see here that decomposition takes place due to photolysis. Then there is another example we see here of AgNO3 or silver nitrate, and this is a colorless solution, and this colorless solution in the presence of sunlight gives us silver. It gives oxygen gas and nitrogen dioxide gas. So this is also decomposition of a certain molecule in the presence of sunlight. Then we come to electrolysis. Now what is electrolysis? Decomposition due to electrolysis is the breaking down reaction brought about by electricity, and electric current has to be passed. For example, pure water, if we try to pass electric current, then the electric current cannot pass through pure water. But when we add a little acid in water, then that water becomes acidulated. It decomposes in the presence of electric current into hydrogen and oxygen gases. Also we see that molten sodium chloride, the solid sodium chloride in the form of powder, it cannot allow the electric current to pass through it. But when we make it molten, or it is in liquid form, then the electric current passes and breaks sodium chloride into sodium and chlorine gas. Okay children, so we see here that lot of reactions are given here, which children are important from exam point of view, especially the photolysis and the electrolysis reaction. Children, you must write in your copies and you must revise them. Then we come to displacement reactions. It is a chemical reaction which is due to the replacement of one element by another element. For example, in this particular example we see Ki, or potassium iodide, is given. In this, iodine is replaced by chlorine, so it becomes potassium chloride and iodine gas is liberated. This is a displacement reaction. We see that the activity series of metals is given out here, and we see that if we have a look at the metal reactivity series, you will see that the most reactive metal occupies the top positions, like potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, and stannous and lead. They all are above hydrogen, and then below hydrogen are copper, mercury, silver and gold. So these metals, they are in the bottom of the series. So the reactivity series, the most reactive are at the top, the least reactive are under hydrogen at the bottom. So we can use reactivity series for showing reactivity. For example, zinc, it combines with copper sulfate, and zinc, because it comes higher in reactivity series above copper, it replaces copper, and the copper sulfate here, it is in this, copper is replaced by zinc, making zinc sulfate, and copper here is given out. Likewise, we see here that the metals below hydrogen, they do not react and they show displacement reactions, like sodium and HCl gives sodium chloride and hydrogen gas is evolved. Likewise, magnesium, now this is also a highly reactive metal in the reactivity series. This displaces hydrogen gas and forms magnesium chloride. But we see lead and copper, when they react with HCl acid, no reaction takes place because they are below hydrogen, they are lower in the activity series, so they do not react with acid. So we visualize from here that how the reactivity series takes place. Let us look at one last example quickly. In this particular example, this is a conical flask, and if you look very closely, then you will see that the blue color of copper sulfate is here, and when we put an iron nail in this blue colored solution of copper sulfate, after some time there is a brown color or a blackish color that comes near the nail, brownish blackish color that covers the nail. And copper sulfate here is changed into iron sulfate. Can you see here? It changes into iron sulfate and copper is given away. So the color change is also there. The copper sulfate blue changes into ferrous sulfate solution, which is green. So this can be very clearly seen how a displacement reaction takes place. So from here we will continue in the next video. Till then, wish you all the best. Study well, children. Have a good day. Thank you.